Hello everyone and welcome to this weekly market Bitcoin update video where we'll be going over Bitcoin over the monthly, weekly and daily time frame. I just want to let you guys know that I actually want to start doing a weekly live stream over the weekly close for Bitcoin. So I want to be going over 1 to 2 hours, going over all of the setups that I've had for the week for Bitcoin and any setups that I'll have for the upcoming week that I think will be high probability, and then also just any comments that you guys have, any coins that you guys want me to go over. So that's what I think is what I'll be starting to do. So if you want to leave a like and a comment and that's what you want me to do, please let me know. So let's get into it. We're going to start, let's actually go over to the monthly time frame for Bitcoin and actually have a look what's happened. So there is 5 days left to the month. We had massive bear bar, we've had a doji bar, and we're having another bull doji bar. But as you can see, we're having a lot of support in this area, a lot of wicks in this area. So it does look, with this bull bar closing, a bit of a hammer bar, it does look like we could come up and test some of this area. So once we change to the daily and the weekly, we will be able to see. Again, I do think that this old high over here does need a bit of a retest, and potentially I don't have it on this one down here, the old high from 2017. So we've got the old high from 2017 and we've also got old high. So there's some potential drop down levels that we're definitely looking for on the longer term time frames, as a support turns into a resistance and resistance turns into a support once retested. So we're just keeping an eye. So we might expect a retest up to here and then a drop down. So that's just the monthly. So jumping over to the weekly here, as you can see, last week was a nice bull. It was a bull trend bar. So we could even make a quick 1-to-1. Would be my first little take, and we've actually already hit that 1-to-1. There you go. So that bull bar. So that was quite a strong week, 11%. And again, we had a lot of support in this area. So we did have a bit of a inverse head and shoulders, where the head pokes a little bit further and we have the shoulders. So just a slight inverse head and shoulders there, and then we had a nice bull bar confirming. So that looks good. And as soon as we close above this level here, this 41k, then this support will most likely come a resistance, and around somewhere the 50 to 55k region would be a clear level to play here. So we're actually resisting on, this is the 55 EMA we're supporting. So we've had many support, wick, had a little breakdown, instantly back up. So that's clearly showing that we're supporting off the longer term 55 EMA, and we're now rejecting off the shorter term 20 EMA there, as you can see here. So now we'll go off the weekly, move over to the daily chart. So here on the daily, we had some really strong bars. So here, instantly had a bit of a 1-to-1 level. Extend that up. Absolutely smashed through that. And just today we're up nearly 9%. So again, a lot of support in this area here. Every time we try to come down to it, instantly the next bar. So we'd come down, retest, instantly next bar, even this one came in, next bar, straight up. I'm actually just going to go on the 4 hour because it shows these daily bars a little bit better and actually how I was trading it. My first initial trade for last week, or the start of last week, was this trade here. We had 1, 2, 3 really strong bull trend bars closing on their highs. So I had a 1-to-1 extension target right from there. So you copy and paste that, extend it up, 1-to-1. As you can see here, we actually hit that 1-to-1 level, and I had one of my sell targets here. We hit it down and then we reversed like 1 or 2%. Yes, we reversed instantly 1%. So that was first target there. Then I came across here and I actually had a second target here, which was going to blow through my first target. So I made a 1-to-1 extension off this bar here and left it up there. As you can see, we completely smashed through that. So we had my first 1-to-1, second 1-to-1, absolutely smashed through that. And here you can actually make a third 1-to-1. So you can actually use this bar here and this bar here, since they're both bull trend bars. Just copy it from the body, get a 1-to-1 extension to the top, and that's another one-to-one extension of 42,200. So I'm unsure how likely that is, because it is a massive bull trend bar late in the trend. And if you do remember what I say about big bars late in the trend, especially if you think about this was the start of this whole trend. So if we use this tool here, we can actually count the days. So right now it's 35 bars in. So 35 bars in is quite a lot of bars. So out of 35 bars, one of the last bars here being the biggest bull trend bar, it does lower the probability that we'll get this one-to-one extension up here straight away. And here we are lining up with a bit of a resistance. So we have a resistance level here, one in here, another one in here, and another one in here. So they're all lining up, and if you just sort of get an average, which would probably be roughly there, right around the price that we tried to wick through. So right now I do expect higher prices, but I'm unsure if I'm just going to shoot up because of this big bull bar. We might come down here and test some of these EMAs that are catching up here. We've got the 20 EMA, the 13 and the 9. 13 and the 9, so catching up. So this bar here could easily just start. We just have a couple of bars, retest, and then go up and pop. So that's why I'm not looking for a trade straight away. But if we were to go higher, I would expect somewhere there for my one-to-one. That's what I'm thinking. Now we'll move over to, so if I was to look on the 1 hourly, which is what I'm at now, I would instantly be able to have a one-to-one extension here. As much as that is close to a doji bar, the actual body of the candle is greater than the wick, and the way that you can actually check that is use the Fibonacci tool down here from the top to the bottom. And as you can see, the 50% is the actual body is a little bit bigger. So it is close to a doji bar, so we could expect it to be a doji bar, and that's why I said the probability isn't as high, and you can actually see it here because that bar's not as high, and we'd lead to that close to 42k level, which we were talking about before. So that would be my trade, and if I would have to do, my stop would be here, right below the start of the one-to-one move. But again, it is a little bit risky just because there's bigger wicks starting to come in. But again, that shouldn't scare us too much, because once we had this big move up here, we are starting to go sideways. And once we have a big breakout like this, and then we start to go sideways, we usually have another breakout in the same direction. So we're just, what I'm basically watching is this move here, watching this move in here. That's basically where we're going. We're basically ranging. And if we continue in this range for a few more bars, let's say we do this again, and we continue over here like this, then that's when I'm going to play any breakout up here, I'll be playing to the long side. And then any breakout down here, I'll be playing much shorter because we're in a bull market. I'll be playing this a lot quicker, but I'll be playing it to the short side. So I'll probably play it to somewhere around here where this EMA will be coming across, and use that as some type of support. But that would be my play on the short-term time frame. So right now it is getting a little bit late for me, but if we're going to stay up and play, this is going to be the way to make the highest probability money, basically. So what I really like to look out for, again, is just to break it down, is once we get a breakout to one direction, so we've got a massive breakout, if we move sideways and have a slightly up tilted market, that's when we have a high probability to actually trade. So here, let me just show you, I'll show you an example of this. As you can see here, we had a breakout in a direction. Breakout, as you can see, this is a sideways market, right? But you can see how it's slightly up tilted. We have an up tilt, up tilt, up tilt, up tilt. Every low is getting just a little bit higher, but if you can see, we're going sideways. So as you can see, we're going sideways, but we just slightly tilted, and that gives you a higher probability to play in the direction of the trend. Because usually what happens is we'll get a breakout, and we'll move sideways. It'll be a sort of, people are accumulating. As some people are getting out of their positions, a lot of people are actually using that volume to accumulate much larger positions. So we'll make a video on how all this stuff works. It can be a little bit complex, but that is fine. Next example here is, watch, we get a breakout. Then, as you can see, this is a sideways market, right? If I was to draw here, this is basically sideways, right? Nearly every bar can be contained in here. We go up a little bit down, 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 up a little bit down. But as you can see, it does have a slightly up tilted market. So we're tilted up, tilted up, tilted up, tilted up, tilted up. Just slightly on that up tilt, bang, get a breakout, massive, massive, massive breakout in the direction. I was watching this morning, and on some 5-minute bars, we had an 8% move. So look at this, just like that, 14% in just a 2.5 hour move. So absolutely crazy. And if you're playing with a little bit of leverage, that's really good trade. So again, that just showing you 2 examples, and will we get that for the 3rd time? So if we've got the breakout, we're watching for the sideways, and again, you can see it here. It can take a while from the end of the breakout type part to the end over here. That was a whole 2 days that we just went sideways, 2 days sideways, and we got a breakout. And again, how long did we go sideways for? We went sideways for 1 day and 14 hours, basically 2 days. So as you can see, this sideways market can play, but then what you do, as I spoke about, so we do have this sideways, and then you just play to the upside. As soon as you break above the channel, you play to the upside, and if you get a break below the channel, you get a break to the downside. And same thing here. Once you get a break, you play it. And well, you had a lot of time. You could have got that candle, seen it. All right, bang, you got a 2.1% move in your direction, and you hold for 2 more candles. Bang, you made over 10% in a 1.5 hour hold. So absolutely crazy. So that's the trade that I'm looking at now on the medium to shorter term time frame. I usually do trade on the 5-minute, but that's for really picking my entries. I like to use these longer term time frames to really find the entry that I want to play, and then the 5-minute just to really time that entry and to get an extra, save an extra few dollars here and there. So I hope you enjoyed that video. Please make sure to leave a comment or a like if you'd like to see a live stream every week for 1 to 2 hours. So cheers for tuning in. Thanks for watching.